As the first light of dawn breaks, the harbor begins to buzz with activity. Fishermen gather around their boats, carefully checking every piece of equipment before the long voyage ahead. The sound of engines being tested, nets being pulled, and voices calling out to one another fills the air. The smell of engine oil, fish, and sea salt blends together in the morning breeze. They load large containers of ice into the storage holds to preserve the fish. Another group prepares the bait, checks the fishing lines, floats, and nets. Every movement is quick, precise, and orderly, the result of years of experience at sea. Fishermen make sure the fuel, fresh water, and food supplies are all ready, essentials for a trip that could last anywhere from several days to a full week. Before departure, the captain checks the wind direction, the currents, and the weather report on the radio. If everything looks good, the signal to set sail is given. The fishermen climb aboard, secure the ropes, and neatly arrange their tools. Some of them make phone calls home, leaving a few last words for their families before heading out. When the ship's horn sounds, the boats begin to leave the harbor, one after another. The fishermen stand on deck, watching their course and the movement of the waves. They know well that each voyage is unpredictable, but it is a life they have known for years. The boat slowly moves farther from the shore, heading toward the waters where schools of mackerel, herring, sardines, and scads are likely to be found, the main goal of this journey. Mackerel are large, fast-moving fish that live mainly in mid-water and usually travel in schools. The best time to catch them is at sunrise or sunset, when the water temperature shifts and the fish begin moving closer to the surface to hunt. Fishermen must time this moment precisely, relying on years of experience to read the ocean currents and locate the schools. Once the area with fish is identified, the boat slows down and moves gently while setting floating drift nets combined with hand lines. This method demands intense focus because mackerel are incredibly strong. If a fisherman reacts too slowly or pulls at the wrong moment, the fishing line could snap or the net could tear. On deck, every fisherman has a specific position. Each fishing rod is secured firmly, and the line is released to the proper depth. The person steering the boat constantly monitors the sonar or fish finder buoys to stay aligned with the school. When a fish takes the bait, the line jerks violently and moves fast. The fisherman must hold firm, using the strength of his whole body to maintain control. Mackerel tend to thrash fiercely during the first few minutes. If the line is not kept steady, the rod can spring back dangerously. Fishermen have to coordinate smoothly. One holds the line, another reels it in, and a third readies an auxiliary net to pull the fish aboard. Each catch requires power, calmness, and quick reflexes. As the fish nears the surface, another fisherman uses a gaff hook to grab it by the head or body and lift it straight onto the deck. Freshly caught mackerel are still strong and often thrash hard on the deck, so one crew member must grip the tail tightly to prevent damage or accidents. Right after landing, the crew quickly clean the fish and store it in large boxes of ice to preserve its freshness. A fresh mackerel typically has a long body, shiny bluish-gray skin, and firm muscles. They usually weigh between 22 and 66 pounds, or about 10 to 30 kilograms, while the largest ones can reach up to 88 pounds, which is about 40 kilograms. Throughout the fishing process, the crew works continuously, taking turns checking the rods, reeling lines, untangling nets, and adding new bait. A single fishing session can last for hours, especially when they encounter a large school. The helmsman must maintain the correct wind direction and boat speed to avoid breaking the lines or losing track of the fish. Everything happens in rhythm, each person handling their role precisely. If even one person reacts a second too late, the line might go slack, the fish could escape, and all their effort would be wasted. After finishing the first haul, the ice containers are filled with freshly caught mackerel. The fishermen record the number, weight, and time of the catch to report to the boat owner when they return to port. They take a short break, have some water, and prepare to cast their nets again. The work repeats over and over, yet each haul demands the same strength and focus as the first one. Catching mackerel requires not only physical power, but also deep knowledge of ocean currents, wind direction, and the movement patterns of the species. During the winter and early spring, when the sea temperature drops to around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 20 degrees Celsius, it marks the peak season for herring. These fish usually live in massive schools that can reach thousands of individuals, moving along ocean currents and shifting locations depending on food availability. The coastal areas of central and northern Vietnam are the most active herring fishing grounds thanks to their cold water currents and rich supply of plankton, the herring's primary source of food. Fishermen often catch herring at night using a method called light purse seining. This technique takes advantage of the herring's natural behavior. They are strongly attracted to bright light in the dark. On the fishing boats, high-powered halogen lamps are installed along both sides and up the mast. When the boat reaches a potential fishing area, the captain stops the engine and switches on the entire lighting system. The beams shine down onto the water, creating a wide circle of light that draws the fish toward the area directly beneath the boat. About 15 to 30 minutes after the lights are turned on, the fishermen begin observing sonar reflections or watch the water surface directly to estimate the school's density. Once they see a thick concentration of fish, they quickly get ready to cast the net. The purse seine net is shaped like a large cylinder, about 65 to 100 feet deep, or roughly 20 to 30 meters, and can stretch up to 985 feet long, which is about 300 meters, depending on the boat's size. The net is released gradually, surrounding the school to form a complete circle. As soon as the area is enclosed, the crew pulls the line at the bottom of the net to close it off, preventing the fish from escaping. After encircling the fish, the retrieval process begins slowly and steadily. The fishermen must work in perfect coordination to avoid tearing the net or startling the school. While some crew members pull the ropes, others prepare scooping tools, storage containers, and ice. The herrings are lifted with large dip nets and poured directly into ice boxes for immediate preservation. Each successful haul can bring in anywhere from several hundred kilograms to a full ton, which is several hundred to a few thousand pounds, depending on the size of the school. Herring are small fish, averaging 6 to 8 inches in length, or about 15 to 20 centimeters. Their bodies are flat and covered in shiny silver scales. When freshly caught, their scales cling tightly and glisten brightly under the lights. The fishermen sort them right on the boat. The larger ones are kept for fresh sale, while the smaller ones are used for drying or fish sauce production. To maintain freshness, all the fish are immediately covered with ice, keeping the storage temperature below 41 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 5 degrees Celsius. Unlike mackerel or herring, which live in midwater and near the surface, scads are bottom-dwelling predators that usually inhabit deeper waters between 130 and 330 feet, which is about 40 to 100 meters, often near coral reefs or rocky seabeds. They move slowly, hiding along the ocean floor to ambush prey, so pinpointing the exact location of the school is the most crucial factor in catching them. Fishermen use small or specialized boats equipped with fish finders to track movement along the seabed. They observe sonar signals reflecting from the ocean floor to identify where fish are concentrated. The patterns displayed on the monitor help distinguish scads from other species by their shape, density, and depth. Once the area is identified, the boat slows down and drops anchor to stay in position. The main fishing method used is bottom lift net fishing, a net with a heavy lead frame designed to cover the entire seabed area. Before casting, the crew carefully checks the lead weights, floats, and pulling ropes to prevent tears during operation. The net is released slowly, following the direction of the current to keep it from drifting away. Once the net reaches the bottom, the boat holds its position for about 20 to 30 minutes, allowing the fish to swim into the trap. Then, the fishermen begin hauling in the ropes from both sides of the boat, assisted by a winch system to lift the net. Because bottom nets are extremely heavy, often weighing between 440 and 660 pounds, or about 200 to 300 kilograms, manual hauling is nearly impossible. Modern boats are fitted with mechanical winches that reduce physical strain, though the operator must constantly monitor to prevent the net from snagging on rocks or coral. When the net is raised, it usually brings up sand, gravel, seaweed, and other bottom-dwelling creatures along with the fish. Fishermen use poles and auxiliary nets to clear debris and check the catch. Freshly caught scads have round bodies with golden yellow or silvery gray skin. They typically measure between 16 and 28 inches long, or about 40 to 70 centimeters, and weigh around 6 to 13 pounds each, which is roughly 3 to 6 kilograms. Their meat is firm and low in bones, making them highly prized in markets, especially by restaurants and high-end seafood processors. Right after being caught, the crew quickly clean the fish and store them in deep ice containers to preserve freshness. If the haul is large, sorting is done directly on board so the fish can be transported back to port the following morning. Fishing for scads usually takes place at night or in the early dawn, when the current is stable and the wind is calm. Each netting session lasts from 2 to 4 hours, depending on sea conditions. Fishermen must work continuously in tight quarters, facing risks such as slipping, getting caught in lines, or being struck by the heavy nets. Coordination between the winch operator and the catch crew is essential to prevent accidents and maintain efficiency. Catching scads requires not only strength, but also deep knowledge of the seabed terrain and the direction of ocean currents. Only those with many years of experience can accurately identify the gathering zones and choose the right moment to deploy the net. A successful haul can bring in several hundred kilograms, or hundreds of pounds, of fish, but a single mistake or a strong current can leave them empty-handed. This is one of the most technically demanding and observation-intensive fishing methods in the entire seafaring trade. At the beginning of summer, when the sea temperature rises, sardines begin to appear in large numbers along the coastal waters. This is a crucial time for fishermen, especially those who specialize in catching small fish. Sardines usually travel in massive schools near the surface, so spotting them is not too difficult. But achieving a high yield requires experience and close coordination between boats. Fishermen often use the pair trawling method. Two boats running side by side at a set distance, towing a large funnel-shaped net between them. As both boats move forward, the wide mouth of the net opens and sweeps the entire school of fish inside. The towing speed, direction, and timing for closing the net are all calculated carefully, based on real-world experience and navigation equipment. After about 30 to 40 minutes of towing, the captain gives the order to haul in the net. Crew members begin pulling the ropes as the winches roar continuously. When the net's mouth surfaces, thousands of sardines crowd together, forming a heavy, silvery mass weighing several tons. Everyone works in sync to bring the catch aboard. Those on deck use long-handled scoops to transfer the fish into plastic containers, while another group spreads layers of crushed ice and salt to preserve them immediately. The work moves quickly, as sardines spoil easily, especially when the sea temperature can reach up to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 30 degrees Celsius. If they are not properly stored within 30 minutes of being caught, their flesh softens and loses market value. For that reason, every step must be executed swiftly and precisely. The fishermen are used to this pace, working while watching the clock, never falling behind, not even for a few minutes. On the boat, the work is clearly divided. One team handles the nets, another sorts the fish, another packs the containers, and another covers them with ice. The entire operation runs smoothly, like a well-organized production line. Each fishing trip usually lasts from 8 to 12 hours, and if they encounter a large school, they can bring in 10 to 15 tons of fresh sardines, equal to roughly 22,000 to 33,000 pounds. Sardines are in high demand domestically, especially in food processing factories where they are dried, canned, or used to make fish sauce. In many coastal areas of central and northern Vietnam, sardine fishing provides a primary source of income and jobs for hundreds of local workers during the season. Although sardines do not bring as high a profit as mackerel or tuna, they allow fishermen to sustain their livelihood throughout the year. It is a traditional trade that has existed for decades, tied closely to the sea season and the small wooden boats of local fishermen. Each sardine season brings renewed energy to the fishing villages, marking the start of long, busy days at sea, filled with hard work, but also the satisfaction of a prosperous catch that supports countless coastal families. After leaving the port, the mackerel, herring, jackfish, and sardines are transported to seafood processing plants, where they are sorted by species, size, and quality. Large mackerel are separated, cut into portions or filleted, then rapidly frozen at 35 degrees Celsius to preserve maximum freshness. Some are seasoned, packaged, and exported directly to high-demand markets such as Japan and South Korea, countries known for their strict quality standards. Herring, though smaller in size, are caught in huge quantities and processed in various ways. Part of the catch is used to make the famous phu quoc herring salad, while the rest is salted, dried, and packaged for domestic sale or export. This careful process ensures that the fish retain their silvery sheen, firm texture, and natural flavor. Jackfish, which are medium-sized, are mainly prepared for traditional braised dishes. After cleaning and grading, the fish are packed in trays or vacuum-sealed bags to maintain quality during transportation to local markets, supermarkets, and restaurants. This species is especially popular for its firm flesh, few bones, and versatility in cooking. Sardines, though small, are abundant and provide a stable economic value. They are primarily used in industrial processing, salted, sun-dried, or pressed to extract fish oil for both domestic use and export. Thanks to their plentiful supply, sardines provide a consistent source of raw materials for food processing plants and fish sauce production. Each species has its own nutritional value. Mackerel is rich in protein and omega-3. Herring contains abundant vitamins and minerals. Jackfish offers firm, meaty flesh, and sardines are a great source of calcium and essential fatty acids. Their markets also vary, from family dining tables and traditional markets to modern supermarkets and international restaurants. All distribution and processing steps follow strict quality and food safety standards. Thanks to this, seafood from Vietnam's coastal waters can be exported to Japan, South Korea, Europe, and other markets, while also meeting the high demand within the domestic market. The hard work of fishermen, from catching to preservation, is reflected in every finished product, helping sustain a steady supply and create lasting economic value for the seafood industry. After the ship's hold is filled with fish, the captain immediately orders the vessel to return to shore. On deck, the catch is neatly packed into ice-filled containers, keeping the temperature low to preserve freshness. The fishermen inspect their rods, nets, and equipment, carefully recording the quantity and type of fish caught. On the way back to port, the crew makes sure the containers remain stable, adding more ice when needed to maintain a storage temperature between 0 and 2 degrees Celsius. Each container, filled with mackerel, herring, jackfish, and sardines, is clearly labeled with its weight and species, ready for sorting upon arrival. When the ship docks, the results of the voyage are recorded, the number of large and small fish, and which species had the highest yield. The fresh catch is immediately transferred into refrigerated trucks or cold storage facilities, ready for the next stages of processing. Fishermen double-check and log every figure to ensure complete accuracy. The outcome of the trip is measured not only by the total weight, but also by the quality of the fish. Heavy mackerel, abundant herring, well-sized jackfish, and sardines sufficient to meet market demand. It is the tangible result of teamwork, experience, and refined fishing techniques, a clear reflection of the voyage's success. As the fishing boat returns to the harbor, life at sea slowly winds down. Fishermen unload their nets, stack the fish containers, and wash the deck, getting everything ready for the next voyage. Every day on the ocean demands focus and discipline, but the results are tangible. The mackerel, herring, jackfish, and sardines that sustain not only their families, but entire coastal communities. These fish are more than just an economic product. They embody the deep connection between people and the sea. Fishermen have learned to harvest responsibly, to preserve marine resources for the long term, avoiding overfishing and keeping the ocean free from waste. This is how they ensure that future generations can continue to live and thrive from the bounty of the sea. The true value lies in the pride of living and working alongside the ocean, and in the responsibility to protect it. Let's all choose seafood responsibly, support sustainable fishing practices, and help preserve the marine environment for years to come. In the next video, we'll continue our journey, discovering the incredible diversity of marine life, from rare fish and shellfish to fascinating sea creatures. Together, we'll learn more about the hard work of fishermen and the importance of protecting our oceans for the future. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.